Hello, this is Right Side Trader. Today is April 18th, 2025, and this is my weekly market review. We're reviewing the Russell 2000, that's IWM, on a quarterly chart, monthly chart, weekly chart, and a daily chart. This is all for educational purposes only, no trade recommendation, because as we all know, trading is risky. You can lose money at trading, so please check with your financial advisor. Please check with your significant other and make sure trading is something that is suitable for you. Let's jump over to these charts and see what we see for this week. And all besides this, and all on this, again, the Russell has been in this bear market. It's below a support 2 yearly support 2 level, still closed down there. We had started looking at these zones, and we was wondering if this last zone was going to hold. It came pretty close to this area and been bouncing and staying above, this level here now. And all down here, based on this right here, where this market had found some demand and came out of here before, and now it's churning in this area down here right now. So we need to be careful about that to see, okay, is this thing going to actually take a few months? This is well, quarters. This is going to take, again, a few months, maybe a few quarters down here. You can see it spent a couple quarters down here before it actually came up out of here. That same thing can happen here. It's down here again. It can go sideways here, and then it can drop hard on us, or maybe it can come out of here. We don't know. The market can do whatever it wants to do, whenever it wants to do. Again, but we need to be just paying attention to what's happening and trade based on your trading plan and your trading strategy that you have in place. All right, but let's go ahead and go down to this monthly chart. On this monthly chart, we have been below the 9-10 moving average. That's this line right here, and we've been below here for quite some time. And the Russell has been in this bear market for a while, and it has given you the confirmation of that. And it started looking at the zones. It came down to the zones that we expected to come down to. It came down to just a support 2 level on these quarterly pivots. The quarterly pivots on this monthly chart and all. So we got in the bounce. We didn't quite go. It went to the zone that we kind of expected to go, and it just didn't go down to like a support 3 level. And on this time frame, that's the thing that we got to. That's why we look at multiple time frames. But it did come to a support 2 and gave us a pretty nice bounce. But we still got lower highs and lower lows. So just remember that we're still in a bear market. So don't get too crazy about trying to load up. I think it's time to buy. This thing hasn't, on the bigger time frame, it hasn't showed us that it is time to turn around and time to get long. At least based on my trading plan and my trading strategy is not quite there yet at all. But let's go ahead and go down to this weekly chart and see what we see here on this weekly chart. See on this weekly chart, and let me do this also. Let me see what we see here. I'm not seeing something that I want to see here. Why I'm not? Oh, yes, I am seeing it. Wow, this is just way there. Wow. What I'm wowing about. This is the 200 right here. I have all these other red lines in here, so it was kind of hidden to me. The Russell dropped down to the 200 and was kind of trying to stay above it, and then this candle right here broke it below the 200. So that's why, again, I had started looking at my different zones. And then here on, this is weekly, on this monthly pivots, last month we had got, this is the area where I normally would say buy, 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 buy. But the Russell slipped like crazy below that and came down. We was looking at a zone. This zone down here, is this gonna support it or not? And it came down in here and support. It came down even deeper in here, down to a support 3 level here on these monthly pivots. These are monthly pivots and that's where it found the support and it's given us like it wants to reverse, but we have to be careful. I'm going to say we have to be crazy to buy even in this market, even though it looks like it might be time to buy. Because again, back here you might say, okay, you might have thought, okay, it's got to bounce off the 200, but then you got a bearish engulfing. Back then I remember saying it's not in the right location, but in this market and on a downward trend, it's just giving you confirmation that this thing is getting ready to even go down even more, and then you got confirmation of that thing. So be careful about buying still in this market unless your trading plan, your trading strategy, and you're going to be really rigid about your rules when you're in this trade and when you're out of your trades, in this market if you want to try to buy. Since we are in a bear market, it's better to probably be looking for weak companies, weak stocks, and trade those to the downside. And those trade recommendations, just an ideal of how you should be looking at your trade and your trading plans and your trading strategy and what you should be selecting to trade at this time and all. But that, and since I'm not calling out any names and I'm not trying to say trade this index to the downside, just pay attention to what you're trading at this time. That's all I want to say. But that's what I see here on this weekly chart. The thing is, like on most things, we didn't break this high, for the same going back to the sub, and we are still below pivot, stay below pivot. And this is a weekly chart, and these are monthly pivots, and all. I don't see. It's almost you got to wait to based on my trading plans and my trading strategy. I have to wait to the end of the month and see if we can get back above pivot. Bottom line for me. And that's pretty much it. That's all I really want to share on here. Let's go ahead and go down to the daily chart and wrap this on up. On the daily chart, zoom in here. We did kind of like what I expected, just like on all the other indexes and all. I didn't expect us to break this high, and I didn't know that we would go below this low, that we would have an inside day, mainly because of option expiration and all the stuff that's already happened in the market. And also, we had some really tight range days here, These 4 days, this is 4 days. Again, this is a 4-day week. So these 4 days, as you can see, very tight range, market open. It went down and all, but it stayed it opened and closed. There's some crazy wicks on here, but you got a wick to the upside, selling pressure. You got a wick to the downside, buying pressure. But all in all, it's probably a very small change over the week. We open here and we close here. So the difference between this close here and this close here, it's almost zero change for the week, and that's what I kind of expected, So this was a good week, and that's all I really want. That's all I really want to share here on this daily chart and what we're seeing here. Come next week, we need to see if we're going to actually open above this pivot line, because these are weekly pivots here, And if we can open above the pivot and all, we might be able to look at, okay, the next thing we'll be looking at, can we break this high? And if we break that high, maybe we are reversing and all, and just see if this thing can start making its way back to the upside. And that's it. That's pretty much all I want to share at this time. This is Right Side Trader. Hope you guys had a great week. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll chat with you next week. Have a good one. Bye.